Oh, here's Ochako. She was faking it the whole time. Is it? Is it? Aww. Yes! 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 Ah, it's the same place. But I don't want you to hide it. Oh my god. You guys! He's remembering everything she's done for him. Oh my god. Oh my god! What the fuck? Oh my god! Scheiße. Oh, it's the same line Ochako said when she saved him. Oh, you guys, stop, I don't want to cry. When a hero is suffering, who's there to protect them? Wow, you guys! What the fuck? What the fuck? Yo! The background! Yo! Wait, oh my god! Okay, from here. And that's why Deku is my favorite character ever. Please tell me you're gonna kiss. Please tell me you're gonna kiss. Please tell me you're gonna kiss. Please. I know it's a shonen anime, but come on. Come on. Of course. Of course. But it's kind of sweet that they're all here. He used a lot of his emperors to reach her. That's also sad. Now they know. Ooh, Aizawa sensei! What the fuck? You guys. Fuck you, fuck all of you. Oh my god, when he tells her, like, you're my hero. What? There are a lot of things I want to talk about after watching this episode, and especially after watching the beautiful moments between Deku and Ochako. First of all, this scene reminds me once more why I love My Hero Academia and why it's one of my favorite animes ever. Horikoshi Sensei, who's the author of My Hero Academia, is a goat when it comes to writing drama. The drama in this series is pure gold. The emotions, the dynamics between the characters, and how they evolve throughout the story are some of the things that make My Hero Academia one of the best shonen animes ever, and one of the reasons why it's very, very popular. The core of the story is actually very simple. It's about superheroes who fight the bad guys. And sure, the series has amazing fights and action, but in my opinion, what My Hero Academia does way much better than many other animes is the drama. Just look at the whole Todoroki family thing. Its impact on the story is very huge, and it delivers a very powerful message about child abuse and marital abuse. And I'm going to talk about this in a separate video because I'm a pediatrician. I see this at work every day. Child abuse and crappy parents who have kids just for selfish reasons. As we approach the conclusion of the story, Horikoshi Sensei has given a very powerful message about the dynamics of the society, the importance of acting for the sake of others, and how those actions come back to us as a moral reward. That's how moral and social systems work. We act selflessly because deep down we are selfish, and we understand that these selfless acts ultimately benefit us all as a group. I'll talk more about this after the final episode, but in my opinion, My Hero Academia is the best story that highlights how a society functions and how to make it work not only to survive as a group, but to minimize suffering and to maximize well-being. After the war, we saw how quickly society began to heal and how the role of heroes started to shift because society started to understand the real problem. The problem is not the villains themselves, but the circumstances, the social circumstances, the moral flaws, the flaws in the whole system that create them. Fixing those circumstances is the true path to make society rise. And I think I finally understand Horikoshi Sensei's message as we reach the end of the series next week. You might think we can't relate to a society like the one in My Hero Academia because we don't have superpowers. But you're wrong. We do have superpowers. Two of them, actually: critical thinking and our consciousness, our social consciousness. We not only have the cognitive tools to find solutions and to fix problems, we also have the ability to think as a group, the social mind, and to create very strong interconnected social networks. This is our superpower, and we should use it in order to identify the problems, the flaws in our society. Ethical, legal, political, the environment, everything, so we can survive as a group with as little suffering as possible. I truly have to salute Horikoshi sensei for his amazing writing and for this powerful message he has given us throughout the story. The second thing I want to highlight is the relationship between Deku and Ochako, because we need to talk more about this ship. Of course, we have to respect the message Horikoshi sensei wants to address through this scene, which is how the students who have participated in this war are processing their trauma. At the end of the day, they are teenagers who found themselves in the middle of a huge war, and each one of them has their own way of dealing with the trauma it left behind. I originally come from a place that was torn apart by war. You may not know this from this channel, but on my main channel, you can know the whole story. I come from Syria. I live in Germany now. I work as a doctor in Germany. And I always say that the society in Syria is very defected. And I always say, and I love this saying, that the war in Syria was the result of this defection and not the reason. I'm not here because of the war. I'm here because this society is broken. And I realized that as a teenager. I was younger than Deku and Ochako when I realized that this place sucks and I have to leave. I was 14, 15 when the war started, but I realized way much earlier, I was 12 or 11 years old, that something is not right and something bad is gonna happen here. And then the war happened when I was 15 years old. So that's not the point. The point is that I understand a little bit of their pain. I know that war leaves you with the worst wounds you have to deal with for the rest of your life. You wish you could do anything in this world to stop it. And that's one of the reasons why I chose to become a pediatrician, to work with kids. So obviously Ochako was hiding her pain and pretending that she was okay because she didn't want to disturb the good vibes after the war ended. But trauma is trauma. You can't ignore it. You have to face it and to deal with its impact on your life. People were asking on Twitter what Ochako would have done if Deku hadn't come to her. I don't think she would have committed suicide or anything like that, because she feels a huge responsibility that Toga literally gave her her life. And I think Ochako feels responsible to carry that forward. So I don't think suicide, people were talking about suicide on Twitter, I don't think suicide was an option for her. But she was obviously in a lot of pain. And we know she's a sensitive girl with a huge sense of others, and that's what Deku exactly told her. He told her, you think of others before you think of yourself, and that's painful. Anyway, I'm happy she opened up. Ochako is an amazing character. I'm going to talk about this in a separate video, but in my opinion, Ochako is one of the best written female characters in shonen anime. And now we come to the point that broke Twitter. Literally broke Twitter, which is the romantic side, the romantic touch in that scene. You can't unsee it. I know that Horikoshi sensei does not want us to only focus on romance and forget everything else that happens in shonen anime, but you cannot ignore it. It's there, the romantic tension is there, and it broke Twitter. It's everywhere in Twitter. First of all, let's talk a little bit about ships. I'm a very realistic person. Even in my personal life, I'm very realistic. I don't care a lot about ships. If a ship is there, it's okay. If a ship is not there, I don't care. I don't go around shipping characters because simply I don't have time to. I barely have time to watch the anime and to focus on the fucking story. So if a ship is included in the story, if it's important to the story, then it's there, it's cute, I ship it. In more specific words, I only ship canon ships. Yes, I know I'm boring, but believe me, I don't have time to be otherwise, even if I wanted to. So, as a realistic person who doesn't care much about romance, especially in shonen anime, it's a little bit different in romance anime, in the world of romance anime, but we're talking about shonen here. As a realistic, pragmatic, and a very objective person, I think the relationship or the ship between Deku and Ochako is the healthiest, the best ship I've ever seen in a shonen anime. It's very well written from the start of the story, and you can feel that it's not built on some random teenage crush, but on the foundation of trustworthy and mature connection. I read somewhere that Horikoshi sensei did that on purpose. He didn't want to give us just a teenage crush, but to show how love can be much more mature than that. Seriously, these two, Deku and Ochako, have a healthier relationship than 90% of adults in our real world, and they're not even officially a couple yet. The support they give each other, the understanding, the sacrifice, the stability, and of course, the emotional side of it. At first, there were some like teenage crush moments between them, but you can feel that it's not about that anymore. Especially, I think the turning point was when Deku left UA and Ochako saved him by standing against the whole society in order to let him in. It's about being there for each other, and more importantly, learning and discovering life together. And that's, my friend, is what's called a healthy relationship. Of course, it was hinted literally everywhere from the start that Ochako is the love interest for Deku. It was obvious from the start, and this element, you see this element in almost every shonen anime. But what's different here is that Horikoshi sensei didn't want Ochako to be only the love interest for the main character, but he made her a main character herself. That's something I absolutely adore about My Hero Academia. We all agree as fans that Deku without Ochako would not be the Deku we know. She's a huge reason why he became the greatest hero. He told her that himself. He told her, "You're my hero." He's the greatest hero for everybody else, but for him, she is his hero. I have to say, I'm so happy we reached this point in their relationship. It shows a lot of maturity between the main male and the main female character. And honestly, I was like, finally, a shonen anime with a well written love story. In my opinion, their relationship deserves more focus because shonen authors need to learn how to write love in a better way, and they should learn it from Horikoshi sensei. Now, another thing I saw on Twitter, should they have kissed in that scene? In my opinion, no. I know my initial reaction was different. My intrusive thought won. But after thinking about it, no, they should have not. The scene is already the best it can be the way it is. Remember, Horikoshi sensei wants to deliver a message through their connection. But at the same time, he doesn't want to shift the focus away from the main story. Their romance is a tool to deliver a message, but it's not the whole message. That's what Horikoshi sensei was doing throughout the whole story, and you can realize that. Of course, Horikoshi wants us to see that their relationship has evolved a lot, but at the same time, they are teenagers with a huge duty on their shoulders, and they still have to navigate life and to process the war. We forget sometimes that these teenagers literally fought in a war, and they have a very hard job ahead of them. Kissing here would mean moving too fast and breaking certain boundaries in Horikoshi's eyes, and honestly, I agree with him. We also have to understand that the culture around kissing is different between the Western world and Japan. In Japan, it's a very big deal to kiss someone. Kind of like in the Middle East. In the Middle East, you don't kiss someone unless you're married. It's a little bit out of Deku's character to go in that direction. Deku is a very polite guy who understands boundaries, who respects others, so he would never take advantage of someone else's grief in order to make a move or something like this. And that's something I really like about Deku's personality. He's pretty much different from other shonen main characters, and that's something I really like about Deku. So the scene is perfect as it is. A kiss between these two would be nice, but not now. Maybe at the end of the story, after they officially become a couple or something. But right now, just after the war, while you're still grieving, it's not really a great idea to kiss your crush for the first time while you're still deeply traumatized. It's not healthy. Don't do that. Again, in my opinion, this is where the maturity and the healthy part of their relationship really shows. Such a beautiful scene, truly meaningful, truly beautiful. They made me cry. They have to get credit for that. And I'm happy for this ship because it's getting now the recognition it deserves. In my opinion, this is one of the best written love stories, not only in shonen anime, but in all anime. That's it for today. Let's wait for the final episode. If you're interested in learning productivity in medicine, then follow me on my main channel. This channel is only for anime. I'll leave the link in the description. Remember, go beyond plus ultra. Bye.